Hey everyone, this is Make Lemonade episode number 8 with your host John, and today we're talking about why I chose filming as a career. What's going on, everyone? This is Make Lemonade with your host John. We are on episode number 8, and today I just wanted to share with you why I chose filming as my career, which is the subject of today. And I wanted to share this with you because I wanted you to know a little bit about me and or myself, and be able to know me a little better so that you can know where I come from and why I do the things that I do. So, nothing beats knowing someone than starting at the root, right? And I'm going to be brief about it. I'm not going to go too in depth with it because this is more like, a reason why I chose my career and not so much my history. So I'm going to be brief, but I do want to share with you where the roots came from and where and why I wanted to do film. So let's get with it. Okay, so typically growing up, I grew up with 9 brothers and sisters, and it was all from the same parents. And at the age of 3, I lost my father. And very big tragedy to my family. And so growing up, one of the things that, that I grew up in was music. And that had to deal with the church, being grown up in the church. But before that, since we're talking about, film, many of us would think that film was something that was always, in me, that I wanted to film, that I wanted to do this. But at the age of that I was, TV was rarely seen. Like, it was, for rare occasions that we would be seeing TV. Usually we grew up, with my 9 brothers and sisters. We would all be playing and, just enjoying each other and stuff like that. So TV wasn't a big, huge thing that we would watch. And if we did watch, we would always watch PBS and little shows like that. We would watch when we could in school, like the movie Lion King, which was one of my favorites, and so on and so forth. But growing up, TV and film was not huge. I did not know anything about you can become a filmmaker. I didn't have a desire for filmmaking or anything. There was nothing there. All there was I was set up to be on a stage, and I was taught, how to sing. I was taught how to, perform for certain occasions. As to being on stage and being able to, handle myself up there by speaking correctly, holding the mic correctly, presenting myself, because, we were doing it for an audience of one, and that is, God, Jesus, all that good stuff. So, being in that area and growing up, arts was a huge thing. The arts, or the masters of arts, was, the language of art. The skills of art was huge. I was learning how to draw because I was inspired by my brother, who was drawing and was drawing amazing pictures that really captivated me. And I wanted to do the same. So I started drawing. And that is one of the things that I was doing at the same time. Wasn't great at it, but little by little I started becoming better, and my drawings were clearer. And, right away I would catch on real quick to whatever, I could draw. Now, the only thing is that when I would draw, I would always draw something that I would see, not something that I would imagine. And so, that was to a certain length that I was into. The other one was sports, the arts of sports. I was, I was able to get really good at sports. And one of my main sports, of course, was soccer. And so the arts was huge in me. Like, it was something that I had a passion for, something that I wanted to do. And it was the number one thing in my life that felt alive for real. Even in music, I was able to catch on to it real quick and learn it and be able to play it back without, any, mistakes or at ease. It was something that just came to me that I could do. So moving along, going through school, never the concept of filming came up. I did love movies. Movies was something that was just so entertaining to me. It was so captivating. It was just the story that was told through, the characters was the main thing that would captivate me. And, of course, everyone likes the good person, right? The good guy. And so what captivated me about, the person who was the good or the protagonist in the movie was the one that always captivated me. But it wasn't because he had superpowers. It wasn't because he was strong. It wasn't because at the end of the movie we all knew he would be, victorious. No. The part that always would get me was what it took him to get to the part where he's a hero and a true hero. That right there was my captivation, because I knew that at the end of the movie it was a happy ending. In the beginning he was struggling, right? Or he had something that he was dealing with. And the middle was the main part, where the story unraveled and you were able to understand and feel for the character because of everything he would go through, to the character transformation, to who he was, to who he would become to. And that is the main reason why filming captivated me, and I had a desire to make films. Not specifically that I was grabbing a camera, wanted to make films. No, I loved that concept. And so when I was little, me and my brothers would, mess around with the camera, not because we wanted to make amazing films and do, little movies. No, we wanted to make people laugh. We wanted to make people, enjoy our comedy skits that we would do, and, little silly things as kids that we would grab the camera, film, and we would send it off to my sister where she lived, and she would see it, she would laugh, and she would comment to us back of what, we did and everything. But the main thing that it was something that we just did, not because we wanted to make movies, but because we just wanted to make something that we wanted, our family to appreciate and remind them of little things that we laugh about together as a culture, as a society, as a family. And that was the main purpose of us making what we did. It wasn't until I got to this school, this institute, where I started seeing more of what one person could do with a camera, a software, and a projector. And at the moment, of course, I didn't know how in the world they were doing it. I just knew they had cameras that they had in their sanctuary, and that's how they would record. But they would record so many other things, and I was like, of course I was into it, but I was not too into it, because I was more into the how you act, or how you put yourself and make these funny characters that attract people and blow their mind. That was my captivation. But it wasn't until it took the moment of me realizing that I had to have a camera, I had to have somewhere to shoot, and I had to have somewhere people could see it. And that in itself created a spark of interest in filming, because I knew that I could tell my story, or stories that I wanted to say, to people, and what I was thinking and the way that I thought, because it's unique the way I think. It's different. Not many people think the way that I think. Many people agree with ideas that I may have, but not many people think or are in my head the way that I am. And so my interest was to share that part, because I knew that I had a voice, and I wanted to show people, to give them hope, inspiration, and encourage them, make them laugh, make them cry, make them just want to be the best version of themselves. And so that was the initiative for me to want to start filming. And I didn't start with most of what people would say most filmmakers or independent indie filmmakers would say that they were inspired by movie stars or directors, and I hear this over and over again. The more I look on YouTube, the more I look at different people, even people in the industry, they always look up to someone else who was in the film and wanted to do exactly what they were doing. My story is not so much that. My story is more around what I can make people feel. How I can make people feel, not what I can make. How I can make people feel, and how they can be inspired to better their lives, to be encouraged. And that moment of feeling was the moment that I got every time when a movie would reach the end. Because the ending was one of my favorite parts. It was when you knew that there was that moment for the protagonist where he would stand up at a place and would be able to be honored for not only the characteristic change that caused him to be where he's at, but also the sacrifice, the struggles, the pain, the healing, and the love especially that got him to that place. And that's exactly what I wanted people to see, feel, and understand. And so my inspiration for film is not along the lines that I want to be like Steven Spielberg, or I want to be like, Tarantino. It's not that I want to be like them. I admire them. I respect them. But it's more around the aspect that I want to inspire people and motivate them and encourage them, because that's my main purpose. And that's why I chose filming. Because it's a way that you can get people to sit down and listen to what you want to share with them. And they get to share in that harmony with laughter, love, tears, and that is what I want to bring people and everyone around the world. And that is my reason for choosing film as a career. So that is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here with Limited episode number 8. And I hope that you enjoyed and were inspired and motivated and understand a little bit where I come from and doing everything that I'm doing step by step, so that you can, be with me and come with me on this journey that I am on and keep on going through the rest of my life. And so, guys, I leave you with this. And I hope that you enjoy, this day, enjoy this podcast, wherever you're at, if you're running, if you're in your car, if you're just listening in your spare time, wherever it is. Just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you later.